Brakte Hawa, Brakte Awashai, Brakte Hawa Bashim Awashai, Call Halayim La Alahayana Yahweh Bashim Awashai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Alright, Shalom Wabarakim, Labakan Shiasha Allah, Shani Kabad, God Walla Wakwab, Wazakwanim Nuwa, and Hashalayakim Nuwa, Shayasha Allah Ba'ayth. Doing all praise to the Most High Yahweh, the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings be upon the elect out there, and double honors to our elders and apostles in these times, known as Great Millstone. So I just got an update here. I got an article and a couple precepts about another step closer to mass implants, basically for the mark of the beast. The EU is trying to gear towards making it fingerprints and biometrics a way of paying for buying stuff. And the way they're trying to roll it out is a security fraud. They want people to feel like they're secure and to make things easier, get access easier. So Psalms 55 and 20, it says, He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. And what these people are going to find out, everyone out there who takes this chip, this is about to be mass implanted, what originally while they're taking it is it's gonna be the covenant or the promise or the contract that they make with this chip being inside of them for biometric payments is going to be broken. A lot of these chips are going to be used to track people. They're still going to be able to, information still going to be able to get stolen. And there's actually options to release chemicals into these people's bodies from these chips that people think they're taking. So verse 21, it says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. All right, so he's gonna jazz this thing up and try to make it real smooth. All right, but really war is in his heart. Inwardly, this chip is created to destroy. All right, created to destroy, because when you read, and I'll get it through the Spirit, if you take this chip, ultimately you're gonna have to suffer the judgment of being tortured in fire in front of who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh Shai, and the heavenly host, which is the angels. So let me just read some of this article. I'm not going to read all of it. I got it posted in the description of this video. Shalom to all the elect out there. Shalom, Shawat Kasab Magan, Shalom, and all the other Akim tuned in. It says, why you will soon be paying for everything with your finger and face. All right, and I'm going to read a little bit of this. Jump around. It says, in the very near future, pins and passwords may look as clunky as old-fashioned as an old bunch of large iron keys, obsolete technology that wasn't particularly secure even when it was relied on. So they're saying basically this is going to take the place of keys, all right, to get into your job, to get into your mailbox, to get into your house, to get into your gym locker, all right, to do certain things, go get inside, walk inside church. Some of these churches are going to be, to keep the church safe, the pastor's going to say, well, you're going to have to get a chip, and we're putting biometrics on the front door so that way people can't break in, because the times are going to be dangerous. All right, they're going to try and make it real smooth. It says, instead, you'll breeze through life like an extra from Minority Report, blinking at a reader or merely stroking a terminal to process the payment for your grocery shopping. All right, you see that? Process the payment for your grocery shopping or your travel tickets or a new house. Think it all sounds a little far-fetched, or at least part some distant future? The future is far closer than you think. All right, that's why I said we're a step closer to mass Mark of the Beast implementations. All right, because it's a lot closer than we think through the Spirit. So I'm gonna go down a little bit more in this article. Okay, it says earlier this month, MasterCard revealed it is in discussion with the UK banks to introduce a biometric payment card that includes an inbuilt fingerprint sensor. In order to make a payment, the cardholder has to place their finger on the sensor, which then authorizes the transaction. So basically, to be more secure, you'll have to give your thumb a fingerprint and then be able to use the chip in your card. So it's going to be a process to even buy something. You're going to have to use some form of biometrics, and that's just a step closer. Eventually, they're just going to put it in you. Reading down, it says part of the drive for this is the new EU regulation. So we know that the EU is the part of the beast. All right, so this is fulfillment of the prophecy is clicking, man. This thing's close. So this says this is a new EU regulation to tackle bank fraud. See, there's the smooth words. So they try to cover it. They try to make it seem like they're doing something to help you tackle bank fraud, which come into force in just over a year, and mean people must come into force in just over a year. So this thing's close, and mean people must use two methods of authentication in order to make payment. All right, and you can see that in different ways. They already make you ask two questions. Now they got voice recognition for certain companies. When you call in, instead of asking questions, it'll just recognize your voice. So it's already getting going on the back end. It says, however, fraud is a massively costly problem for both banks and consumers. Research carried out a comparethemarket.com last year showed that 1 in 10 people in the UK had to cancel a credit card or debit card in the last year because of fraud. More than 1 billion euros have been stolen from the bank accounts in 12 months. So let me come down here a little more, um, just to read something else here. All right, it says, let me read some of these quotes. It says, I believe it's the future. When you look at the convenience and security, what it does to the experience, I believe it is the future. There are pilots all over the globe, and next year we expect millions of units to be deployed. Why? Because those millions of units, all right, those might just be in those times. If they try to do it, we're still here. Those will be kits with syringes in them, where with the chip is in the syringe. It's no longer going to be a finger or actual biometric system to be in place for businesses. It's going to be the actual chip, and it's going to be the military of NATO and the EU, the blue hats, instituting it so that you can buy and sell. It says it's really physically ties the card to you. Hey, and that's going to happen. That's why this is just a step closer. They talking about fingerprints for a double authentication. Well, yeah, it's going to be physically tied to to your blood, to your body. All right. People out there, they see this video, and you don't believe that this is the mark of the beast. You got a true judgment coming to you, man. This is plain as day where the mind of the elites want to do with this biometric system. It is not that someone can look. I'm reading again in the article. It is not that someone can look over your shoulder and steal your password. Um, let's see, reading down here. Yeah, see, here's another way that he makes it smoother than butter. Biometrics may reduce the risk of commonplace fraud, for example, copying pins and cloning cards, but even the creators of the new system admit they could be cracked by particular tenacious frauders. So even if you get this thing, all right, the creators still sit and admit that it could be cracked. All right, so you can read the rest of this article. It's got some other good info in here, you know. Like I said, it's in the description, but I'm going to read the scripture here. This is Revelation 13 and 6. It says, hold on, no, it's further down. Revelation 13 and verse 14. It says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. All right, which that image of the beast is being wounded and taken down right now. All right, that philosophy, that way of life, because that's what that image represents. It says through the power, that's what Esau's pushing with NATO and the EU. All right, that whole agenda that they're pushing, and in the West as well. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, and that's exactly what you see here. That's what this article is about right here. All right, why you'll soon be paying for everything with your finger or face. All right, and they can put this chip in your finger if they want. You know, if they make a chip smaller than even smaller than a grain of rice to put in your finger, that still counts, man. You get that chip in you, that's your ass. I don't care where they put it. It says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, now it says let me go to the next chapter and read the judgment for this, and then I'm going to wrap up here. Revelation 14 and um, 9, it says, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand," all right, your fingers are on your hand, "the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." So that was pretty much it. Just wanted to bring out that article just to show that the EU actually made a pact and they're trying to roll this thing out by next year. So we'll see what happens, because MasterCard is linking up with the UK banks. All right, and EU apparently made some new regulations, which I'm going to look further into, and we'll see what happens. But the Wadi Yahweh Shemiah Shah for being a step closer. You know, call halal Yahweh Shemiah Shah to look out there, stay strong, to keep a strong mind, pray. Think your faith increases, that you can be kept from the said evils, all right, that are coming. So again, call halal Yahweh Shemiah Shah, Shalom to you, like double honors to our elders and apostles, known as Great Millstone these times. Shalom.